Hi there everyone, welcome to Alchemy. In this video we bring you the July forecast for Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising Sign. If you'd like to know how this month's gonna go, carry on with us. So this is the spread we have for Virgo. So this is the spread we have for Virgo. Those of you who are Virgo Sun, Moon or Rising sign, okay, for July. If you have any doubts regarding your rising sign, I'm gonna leave you here with a video that even though it's in Portuguese, it's fairly easy for you to understand how to make your own natal chart online for free, okay, and how to identify immediately your rising sign and your moon sign, okay. So without further ado, let's get into the spread. We have here as the energy of the month for Virgo, we have the Tower and a Six of Cups. The card of the Tower is one of those cards that can be used as a result of a self-fulfilling prophecy, for example, as a result of something that you knew that you had to change for a long time, but you just didn't deal with it. And right now, you're gonna have to, okay? Usually I present this with a simple example. You've been working at a job for years. It's not satisfactory to you. It doesn't pay all that much, but you're there because it's safe. You know what you're doing. You don't have to make much of an effort, and it pays bills by the end of the month. But you're frustrated, you're stressed, you are getting out of bed every morning feeling like, okay, this is useless. But you still wake up and still go to work and still go there and still go on with your life without paying much attention, or trying not to pay much attention to that growing frustration. What happens is one merry day you get a letter from your employer telling you that you have been fired, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, but right now I am too old to start anew, nobody's gonna hire me, I'm too old to go back to school, to start studying again, I have obligations, I have bills, what am I gonna do with my life? And the Tower is the card that says, hey, it's for you to find out, okay? Because the card of the Tower is the one that comes around and turns your life upside down 180 degrees and makes you go down up until the very root of everything, okay? The card of the Tower is the card that destroys everything that doesn't make sense, everything that just hinders you, that just prevents you from being you, from getting to your from getting access to the best of you, okay? The card of the Tower will wreck all of that away from your life, and you will leave you with the bare minimums, with the foundations, if those can be saved. If not, they'll be stripped away and you'll have to start afresh somehow, somewhere, from a different point of view, in a different position, okay? So the card of the Tower is a change, it's a swift change, it's a life-changing change, and most of the times you've seen it coming, you just didn't do anything about it because it didn't feel, it was more comfortable to stay put, okay? So that's the kind of card the Tower is. So this, for Virgo, is a month that deals with this kind of energy. It's a life-wrecking, life-changing, turn of events kind of month. Okay, it may be with the Six of Cups, that is a card that talks about ingenuity, that talks about naivety, talks about being a child, about being in peace, about being happy. Also talks about reminiscence, because Six of Cups is a card that talks about memories, about innocent, about nostalgia, about memories, okay? So this may be the case that you have to do one of two things, because this combination of cards can be interpreted in two ways. It depends on which of these ways would be the most adequate to you. One way would be that you need to get away of everything. The life is going to take matters into its own hands, and it's going to do away with pretty much anything that prevents you from being your lighter self, from being happy, from being innocent again, okay? What is asked of you is that you get rid of all the cynicism, of all those conventions, and just be your childish self, be your best self, be your happy self before anything had happened to you, and so you have to get rid of all the weight. The other thing is you are being way too naive, way too merry-go-round, way too careless with your life, just looking at stuff from a pair of pink glasses, and life is going to strip that away from you and is going to make you return to a point where you need to take responsibility for stuff, okay? Because this is the energy of the month, and depending on what stage you are on in your life, this may be one of two things. Either you are being way too much of a cynicist and you need to turn around and see that not everything's wrong with the world, okay? And there is optimism, there is love, there is hope around you, or you have been too light with your life. You have been too careless. You have been going through life without realizing that stuff has consequences, that your time here is not endless, is limited, and you need to start taking action towards where you are supposed to get in your life, and you haven't been doing so, and so life is gonna give you a hearty shake to make you feel that, okay, I may be in a happy place, I may be alright, but I gotta shake out of my comfort zone. I gotta get out of the past. I gotta move away from those times when everything was simple and when I could be as naive as I would want, and I have to see things as they are, okay? It doesn't mean that you should lose your childish spirit. It just means that you have to start taking things seriously, because you are stuck somewhere in the past where you didn't have much of a, I wouldn't say responsibility, because Virgo is always responsible, but when you didn't have much of a worry about stuff, things would just figure themselves out, and now you have to start figuring them out yourself. So depending on which situation you are, again, it could be one way or the other. Look at your life and be honest about it, and see if you are being way too much of a cynicist, and I believe that this would be the case for most of Virgos. You need to put your guard down, or if you are just being too light about the way you about your take in life, about the way you look at stuff, okay? So then we have the challenge of the month. And the challenge of this month is the card of the Sun with the Six of Coins. The challenge of the month is always a card that it's not necessarily a difficulty. It's something that you'll probably achieve throughout the month, but it's not going to be fluid to get into it, okay? It's not going to be straightforward to get into that, to access that kind of energy. So in this case, you have the card of the Sun. The Sun is success, the Sun is joy, the Sun is shine, is reward, The card of the Sun is an amazing card. It's one of the best 5 cards in the zodiac, in the tarot deck, because you have, as some of the most positive cards you have. I'm sorry. You have the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the Sun, and the World. These cards are super positive, and usually they herald something very positive and something very good. Okay, so the card of the Sun usually talks about emotional happiness, about achievements, about satisfaction, about a place of security, about success, about freedom as well. So it may be the case that you'll need to struggle a little until you get to this point where you feel happy, where you feel safe, where, well, with your life going around with the card of Tower, it's more than obvious that it's going to be a bit of a struggle for you to be able to feel joyful, all right, about your life, and feel joyful about what's going on around you, okay? But in the end, if you do the work that the Tower is proposing you, you will see that you'll be in a much lighter position, and you'll be much happier, all right? You're gonna leave behind a lot of stuff that no longer makes sense to you, and that just needed like the first kick from the universe for you to be able to drop that dead weight that you've been carrying. It comes with a 6 of coins, and the 6 of coins usually talks about just reward for just work. As you can see, this is depicted as a sort of scale, and the hand with the coin, the green hand with the coin, is trying to divide the wealth in a way that is balanced for everybody, okay? So, in this case, be careful with how you act and why, okay? Because be careful of how you act and why, because whatever it is that you do, retribution will be swift, okay? The return of whatever you do, the consequences will be swift and will find you very easily, okay? Will find you very in a very fast way. The card of the Sun is a pretty fast card, so whatever it is that you go through, whatever your actions are, the result of those actions will find you very fast. It's with the card of the 6 of coins, it's a card that is in some the lines it's akin to justice, because it's a card that talks about a just division, but in this case it's specific about concrete justice, about something that's palpable, something that's visible, something that is tangible, okay? So it may be the case that you'll see this happening in your life day to day, okay? So it's a sort of a warning, okay? So that you don't go into the negative part of the Sun, that would be to be self-centered, to be egotistical, to be also very gloom and worried about everything, depressive, because with the card of the Sun, you just, if it spirals out of control and it becomes a dark card, it's a card that doesn't herald much good. It's a card that talks about a lot about disappointment. It's a card that talks a lot about unhappiness, about feeling lonely, about being closed in yourself, okay? And with that, you would be doing just the opposite of what the Tower card is asking you. That is to shed stuff that doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so be careful with this kind of energy, because the challenge of the month is to achieve the best part of the Sun. It's not to stay with the energy of a stale Sun, okay? So let's see how does this reflect in the rest of the month. So let's see what this month has in store for Virgo regarding its love life. And we have the High Priestess, coming with the Two of Cups. The High Priestess is a card that comes from a background of the underworld. She has in her hand the pomegranate. That's the fruit of the underworld, our own underworld as well. Our underworld, where you have your deepest desires, your deepest fears, your deepest trauma, and also your deepest knowledge, your ancestral knowledge. You'll notice that she has in her hand a scroll. So this is a card of wisdom. It's a card of intuition. It's a card that talks a lot about opening up that part of you that knows exactly what is necessary in your life, but exactly all the secrets that you have kept close to your heart, but sometimes you are too afraid of accessing them. Okay, so in this case, this card would say, for those of you who are in a relationship, that this relationship, yes, it maintains, okay, because this is a card is number 2. It's me and the other person, okay. Sometimes this other person is myself. It's me, my conscious me, and my subconscious me. But in any way, you have here the information that yes, this would be a maintenance card. You would stay in a relationship. But there is some healing to be done, okay? It comes with the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is also a card of positivity, of relationship, also of love and matrimony. So it may be the case that you need to go deep down within yourself, within your motivations, within talking in a very honest way with your partner, so that you know where you're going to go with this relationship, and so that you can give us one step forward, all right? So that you see your fears, your aspirations, your desires, and then, yes, can feel more as one together, okay? It's possible that some people get married. It's possible that some of you are proposed to. So, yes, it's a very positive month for your love life if you are in a relationship. If you are not in a relationship, with this card, I would say that you have here the opportunity for a lot of self-care and self-love, because the card of the High Priestess would give you the chance for healing, to heal yourself, to heal your relationship with yourself, to heal your relationship with relationships, with whatever it is that you've been having happening to you in relationships that has happened to you once and again, and it's time for you to heal that, so that you can feel more at one with yourself. Coming with the Two of Cups, this may come from a relationship that may come around, okay? Someone, maybe just that person that has enough energy to help you heal, okay? To help heal what you feel about yourself, your notion of self-worth, your notion of femininity, your notion of also of intuition, because sometimes you may have been ignoring this intuition so much, and then this person comes around and tells you, hey, but if you're feeling this, pay attention to it, see what actually is happening, see if it corresponds, okay? And this may promote some inner healing, okay? Preparing you for a lasting relationship. So for those of you who are alone, whatever it is that comes around right now, I would say that it's a preparation for a future positive relationship. But this month specifically would be more for you to heal yourself and for you to communicate with yourself, to then be ready to receive love and a very positive love life. All right? If you are looking at the energy of money for Virgo, you would see the Devil. The Devil is an interesting card because usually it's depicted as a bad card, but in the end, it's one of the most transforming cards when it comes to your identity that you can find in the whole tarot. Just gonna drink something for a second. My throat's a little bit dry. So, in here you have the devil as a representation of your own personal power. I don't know if you can see it properly in this card. I'm gonna try to make it come closer. You see the devil in his hands. He has all the 4 elements dangling from his fingers, and the figure down here that we have down here, let's see if it's possible for you to see here, is just a representation of the devil. All right, it's the same picture, it's the same person. Okay, the devil is just bigger, so more powerful, and seems to be a little bit more well, the word powerful doesn't come out of my mind, but it's not only powerful, it's much more impotent. Okay, so you feel like you don't have much of a power against it. But if you see, this person is sitting on top of the hourglass. It's not bound by anything specifically, okay? If he wants, he can bounce away from it. And he can reach all of the 4 elements that are dangling from the devil's fingers. So he has the ability to do something here. He's not a captive in the real acception of the word, okay? But what happens is this person is, if he has the hands in front of his face. He doesn't want to see the reality. He doesn't want to see what's going on. He doesn't want to see what's happening there, okay? So that's the point. He doesn't want to see, he doesn't want to look at it. So what you have here is someone, it's the representation of someone that is very fearful, okay? And because he's afraid, the devil can control him, but the devil is himself, okay? So this is when you spiral out of control, when you think that you've lost control of your life. You see that in here at the top you have the sign of Capricorn. It's a sign that's very socially focused. It's very focused on its part to play for the society. It's also a sign that is very materially oriented, okay? They work and work and work until they find a good position in life, or at least so they try. But sometimes they just forego life to do so, if you know what I mean. So this is kind of the case. With the card of the devil, you have here a situation where actually you have to take charge of your own life. You have to be in control. You have to decide if you're going to sacrifice your life for a lot of material stuff or for material gain, or if you are actually going to change what needs to be changed, if you're gonna go after what you need, and if you're gonna break free from whatever is controlling you. One example of a devil situation would be someone who's addicted to gambling, and then after the recovery. Before the recovery, the addiction took away all of their free will, of their willpower, of their personal power. And then they recover and they can go by a casino door and say, hey, I'm not going to gamble today. I'm not going to give in to that urge today. And so they regain their personal power. They make the decisions for themselves. They forge their own path. Okay, this is just to break down the card of the devil. This is a card also that, because of this, is very associated with the material. And being here at the money position, it's a card that tells me that you are either being controlled by money, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you are living around your need for money, and that's pretty much something colossal right now in your life, or you are in a very positive position where money doesn't control you. You control money. You work with it in a way where it becomes a resource that you use to get what you need. Okay, you're not controlled by a situation of lack of money, by a situation where you are always running after money, where you are always seeking for money, where you are always overexerting yourself to get money. You are in a position where you actually use money to work in your favor, okay? So this card, it's a very dubious card, depending on which situation you are and how you see money, okay? Because consumerism may be seen, consumerism initially gives you the impression of a prosperous life and gives you the impression of being in control, but actually you're so addicted to buying stuff that in the end you're just running around after money because you need to buy more stuff. Okay, that's the illusion of consumerism. That's also depicted by the devil. So tell me where you are in this situation. If you'd like, you can use the comment box below. Tell me where you are regarding your money. Does it control you, or are you in charge of your money? Because if this money is controlling you, with the Page of Coins, that's always a new beginning to something related to investment and related to money, to making money grow. It's a new beginning to do with money. I would say that if you are in a position where you are a slave to money, you may be spiraling into it again. Okay, you have here a moment that can give you a bit of a clean slate, but it's very easy for you to forgo this and to fall into the same pattern again. If you are in a position where you already magnetize money, where you can use money to your advantage instead of being used by money, you here have the ability to learn about something new to help you invest. That's the Page of Coins. Learn about a new way to invest, learn about new ways of making money work for you, learning about new ways to be more magnetic, to be more attractive, also to regain your personal power in commercial trading, okay? If you need to renegotiate a raise, go for it. Be assertive and be sure of yourself, okay? The card of the devil is not a card for second guessing. You know it and you want it and you get it, period, okay? Don't go, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to bother you. No, excuse me, I am here seeking a raise because I have done this, that, and those, and because of all this, I believe it's justified for a raise right now. Assertiveness. Don't be aggressive, be assertive. It's something different. You have here quite the opportunity to make money start working to you. Just make sure that you don't lose the sight of what's going on, okay? So, if you're lacking money, depending on how you live it, you may carry on lacking money, but here with a little pocket of air, some money that comes around, a bonus or something that gives you a little bit of a pocket of air that could help you break the chain and see stuff differently. If you are in a position where you already see the money for what it is, for an energy of exchange, and that you can use to get something and not be used by it, then yes, it's a very prosperous month. It's a very magnetic month, okay? Then looking at your health, we have the card of the moon coming with the Ace of Cups. The card of the moon is a card that usually talks about dreams, intuition, and regarding your health, stuff that have to do with this. Melancholia, problems with depression, because you're always in the moon stage, okay? You're always seeing everything black and white, no color. The energy of joy is kind of lacking in here. Problems with your schedules and your cycles. You are deadbeat during the day and super alive at night. You can't sleep properly. You have insomnia, maybe nightmares, sleep disturbances, some nervous disturbances. Actually, it's possible. Okay, this comes from your emotions with the Ace of Cups here. You have the very emotional energy around all this, okay? So it may be the case that you need to seek help to deal with your emotions. You may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now, like everything is going against you, like everything is tugging at you from all sides, and you feel like you just need to get a break, okay? So with this card, please do. Another thing is that if this moon is well lived, if you work in your centering, grounding, self-discovery, and if you try to enhance your intuition and listen to it, this is a card that talks a lot about spiritual understanding, about knowing about that sixth sense being developed, okay? And if you are at that stage, this Ace of Cups is going to bring you some confirmation of what you are feeling, some validation, okay? But usually when it comes to your health, this card is a cry for help regarding situations of sleep disturbances, depression disturbances, so weird nightmares, a lot of dreams, not being able to rest at night. Even though you sleep, you spend your night like you were in a combat arena, and in the end you don't rest, okay? So try to acknowledge that in your body and try to see emotionally what might be causing that, because that needs to be released in order for this to be recovered, okay? If necessary, seek help. Then regarding your work, you have the Temperance with a Knight of Cups. Temperance is a card that talks about balance, also about some sort of alchemy, transforming something into something else. And it comes with the Knight of Cups, so there is something in your emotions that needs to be transmuted, to be transformed, to be to go through an evolution process, okay? Because with the Knight of Cups, there are some opportunities that may arise in your life right now regarding your job. Something that needs a little bit of balance. Either you can be called into a position in your work that has been completely nuts over the time and nobody's been able to deal with it, and you are called to take care of that position so that you can help balance it or try to get things back in order. It may be the case that your work life and your family life needs to be balanced, okay? You are giving yourself too much to one of the sides, and that is affecting your emotions. It's affecting the way you perceive work, okay? Something new may come around, okay? Some challenge, some choice, some opportunity that will demand a little bit from you, from your time, from your energy, but usually it's a positive month. If you're seeking for a job, I would say that something will show up, definitely, but be sure that whatever shows up allows you to balance your family life with your work life. Don't jump into that full force and forget that you are a human being, okay? That ties up with the card of the Devil. If you are in working and expecting to know if the contract that you have will be renewed, I would say that yes, but probably for different functions, okay? Or yes, and it's time for you to renegotiate something that you feel that is quite I'm lacking the word, it just comes in Portuguese, injusto. Something that's quite not fair, okay? And that you need to renegotiate. Now is the time, okay? So that you can have a better position, a better situation. Then we have the Chariot and the Seven of Swords as the spiritual energy card. So the Chariot is a card that talks about triumph. As I told you in the beginning, there are a couple of cards that are super positive, and this is one of them. And the Chariot is a card that talks about aligning your ego with your your subconscious, your soul. So all three work together. The ego and the subconscious are the not subconscious, sorry. Your ego and your higher self are the two horses. You have to make them work together, and your soul is the driver. Okay, so the soul knows where you have to go. The high self is the one that helps you see what's going on and see the path, and then the ego is the one that's down here and that helps you and gives you the anemic force to execute. Okay, and this comes with the Seven of Swords. So I would say that somehow there is something that you need to change, that you need to align within yourself regarding your spirituality, and that this may need a little bit of diplomacy, or may need to be done sort of in secret from those around you. Say that you are in part of a congregation or part of a group where you practice your spirituality. It may be the case that some of the new findings that you've had with some introspection or some new directions that you decide to take in life or to take in with your spirituality don't quite agree with them. So you may want to stay there because the feeling is still right, but you incorporate for yourself some other information, some other complementary belief, something that makes more sense to you. Because right now is the time for you to see where you would like to be spiritually. Okay, make that introspective checklist and see, look, right now my spiritual practice is enough or is not enough, gives me peace or just doesn't do much for me, and see what needs to be adapted, what needs to be changed in order for you to work towards that. All right, so this is a very important moment for you to see what you want to do and where you want to go spiritually speaking, and then with a little bit of diplomacy, with a little bit of caution, you decide where to go. Seven of Swords is also a card that talks about theft, not only about diplomacy but also about theft or something done behind something or someone's back. So it may be the case that you have some epiphanies or that you discover something that makes you feel different and somehow feel defeated by what you've been doing so far. If you're part of a congregation or even if you've been practicing in private, you find new teachings that show you that what you've been believing in so far doesn't quite correspond to the reality that you wished it did. But then you have also the information to take you where you want to be. So in this case, make a spiritual checklist, look around, see what you need to do to get to where you want and need to be spiritually. Let's see what the Ascended Masters and the Iris Oracle have to tell you. And with the Ascended Masters, we have the card of Manchushri. It's a Buddhist deity of wisdom that has a sword in his hand to cut through illusions and bring about clarity and understanding. So goes a long way here with the Chariot in your spiritual life. And says as follows: you can hear your divine guidance best by quieting yourself and listening. Shut out noisy stimulation like telephones and television and relax in a quiet place. Don't try to make anything happen. Just listen to your own thoughts, breath, and the rhythm of your heart. Then mentally ask questions of your guides and angels. Listen to the loving truths that they speak in your heart, body, and mind. Listen to your own inner truths. Trust your intuition and take action accordingly. Additional meanings for this card may be: have a quiet retreat. Your guides and angels are talking to you. Are you listening? Less talking and more listening is called for right now. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Listen to what messages any aches or pains are trying to tell you. The body always talks to those who listen. So this card comes a lot in line with Chariot and the High Priestess, and a lot with the Moon as well. Something that needs to be worked on, that needs to be change, and in the end, some intuition needs to be developed. You need to hear what your guides have to tell you. Then we have the Temple of Carnelian from the Isis Oracle that talks about entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. And it goes like this. You have such strength within you. It is time to trust in your own boldness and courage, taking risks that feel true to your heart and engaging in practices that make you feel truly and genuinely alive, embodied, and more of yourself, even if not always comfortable, are going to help you live the life you were born to live. In the fierce belly of Sekhmet, the lion-headed sister of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of passion, courage, and fire, there is no room for procrastination, self-doubt, or turning back. She urges you on to your high destiny, to your calling you to believe, keep going, reach higher, and expand wider. You can do so knowing that the Temple of Carnelian will bring you warm strength, encouragement, and deep trust in your own body wisdom to guide you through any situation or relationship that may arise to test you, so that you can grow into more of your magnificent being. This oracle calls you to have the courage of your convictions, to have faith in yourself and your own process, to be fearless as you are assured of victory. Sekhmet will not be defeated. If you are concerned that you are biting off more than you can chew, or are not sure about the path you are taking, if you are up to the standard, or if you will ever gain the recognition that you feel you deserve, then know that as you enter the Temple of Carnelian, into the fire belly of the lion-headed priestess, you shall be guided to success. Sekhmet comes alive with boldness, her power grows with courage, and her fire will burn bright in your life as passion, success, and victory. She says fortune favors the bold and guides you to take the leap you know in your heart it is time for you to take. Trust that you'll protect your love, heart, and vision, encouraging you to shine most brightly. So, this card ties beautifully also with the Tower and everything that we've been reading here. It's an amazing advice for you to feel supported and to feel more confident regarding your spiritual life and regarding your path this month. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that you liked this spread. Please don't forget to leave us a comment or a like if you like this work, or if you have anything to say. Please leave us something in the comment box below, telling me how you feel. If you have any suggestions for the channel, I love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to give us the thumbs up if you like this, and to share with people who you may think that may benefit from these readings. And if you want to know when we have new videos around here in the channel, just click the subscribe button and the bell so that you know when there is a new video around, because you will receive the notification. I hope to see you again soon in the next video. Bye!